Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Cozy Chat, a slow English podcast which helps you to learn English in a fun and natural way. I am Maria, and today we are going to talk about my nighttime routine. Now, my nighttime routine is not very strict, meaning it's not very fixed. I don't always do the same thing every night. However, there are some parts of my nighttime routine that I think are very important and very positive. So maybe you get some ideas from this video on things that you could incorporate into your nighttime routine. And I know that many people have nighttime routines which are very consistent and they do the same thing every night. Maybe people drink a warm cup of tea, or maybe people always watch TV or read or other kind of relaxing activities like listening to relaxing music. But since I have kids, I feel like mine is always a little bit more chaotic and very different. Chaotic means a little bit crazy. For me, my nighttime really begins with dinner. Every night I cook dinner for my family and we eat together. I really love having dinner together as a family and especially talking to my kids about what they did that day. Then, after dinner, it's time to clean up. We always try to get my kids to help us clean up after dinner. And sometimes that works, and other times they don't really clean that much, but we are always trying to all clean up as a family. But as I have explained in other episodes, I am a very messy cook. So unfortunately, I usually leave a big mess in my kitchen. So for that reason, I feel responsible to really clean up any mess that I made while cooking. After dinner is also a time that I really try to spend time with my kids and play with them since they are all day at school. After dinner is a very good opportunity to be with them. Then starting at about 7:30, I start helping my kids to get ready for bed. We brush their teeth and they put on their pajamas, and either myself or my husband will take them to bed. We always read 1 or 2 stories before bed. I always read in English, and my husband always reads in German. After my kids go to bed, I finally have time to myself, and to be honest, I usually continue cleaning my house after they go to sleep, and I really try to make the house clean before I go to bed. It always feels better when I go to bed and I know that the house is clean. And when I wake up in the morning, I know that when I go into my house, it's going to be nice and fresh and clean. Once my house is clean, then I do one of my favorite activities in the whole day, and that is to wash my face. I don't know why, but I love washing my face at the end of the day. I really feel like I wash the day away, and it just makes me feel so clean and fresh and ready for bed. Sometimes, depending on what I did that day, I will take a shower. In the mornings, I really like to take cold showers because they wake me up. But at night, I like to take a hot shower. This really helps me to relax and feel good and feel ready to go to sleep. And I can honestly say that washing my face before bed has been something that I've done every single night for as long as I can remember. I always have to wash my face before I go to bed, and if I don't, I just feel really dirty and I cannot sleep. After that, I put on my pajamas and go to the living room and talk to my husband. We try to have a conversation at night, as it is sometimes hard to talk properly when my kids are around. So this is a chance that we can talk together before the day is over. Sometimes I really like watching TV or a series. Sometimes there is a show that I really, really like, but I have been really trying to go to bed early and to not stay up too late. So instead of staying in the living room and watching TV, I go back to my room, usually about 10 o'clock or 10:30 p.m. I have found that even if I read in the living room, it makes it harder for me to go to sleep in my room. And I don't really know why. So that is why I just go straight to my room and get ready to go to bed. So once I get back to my room, I get in bed. And the next thing that I do, I have found to be so positive and something that really helps me to sleep. And that is, I lay down and I simply just think about the day. I think about what I did that day. I think about how I feel about what happened that day. And I think about how I'm feeling at the time. Sometimes there are days that I think, wow, today was really stressful. This really made me feel stressed or uncomfortable or rushed or something like that, a little bit more negative. And when I have a day like that, I also try to think about what I learned from that day and how maybe if something didn't go well that day, I tried to think of how I could do better doing whatever that was in the future. And then if I have a really good day, it's really fun to think about the things that I did that I enjoyed and think about how all of those things made me feel. I think it's really easy sometimes to just let the days go by and not even really think about how the day made you feel or how the situation made you feel. And I find it to be very relaxing to just think about these things before you go to bed. Because whenever you're about to go to bed, you aren't busy doing other things. You are just getting ready to go to sleep. So your mind doesn't feel as busy, and you can really reflect on these things. And for me, my head feels much more clear, and I can really think clearly. Sometimes during the day, there could be situations that didn't go well, and at night, I seem to be able to think more clearly about what really happened and how that situation could have been better. I also find it very fun to think about all of the positive things that happened during the day. I like going to bed thinking about these things. Sometimes I just smile or laugh in bed thinking about what happened. This is something that I have started to do probably in the past few months. And I realized that it really does help me to relax. And some days, if I don't do it, I really notice that it's harder for me to relax and to sleep. Because if I just sit and think a little bit without looking at a screen, without looking at a book or listening to anything, if I can just sit there and think about these things, it kind of helps my mind to just clear out before bed. And I think that is very positive. Now, after I have done this and I have laid in bed and really thought about the day and how things made me feel and really how I feel at the moment, that is when I pick up my book and I start to read. I love to read before bed. Sometimes I may only read 5 minutes because I'm so tired. But other times I may read more than 30 minutes before bed. But for me, it's very important to read, even if I only read one page. Something about it really relaxes me and lets my body know that it is time to sleep. Now, a few years ago, I started to listen to relaxing podcasts before I went to bed. And that is where I got my idea to start my English Before Sleep series. So I used to listen to podcasts before bed just because I found that listening at the time really helped me to relax even more than reading. So if you are looking for a nice, relaxing podcast in English to listen to before bed, then I suggest you check out my English Before Sleep series. And once I have been reading for usually about 15 to 20 minutes, that is when I turn off my light and go to sleep. Most nights I sleep pretty good, but there are always some nights that I wake up in the middle of the night and it's hard for me to go back to sleep. And when that happens, I really just try to pick up my book and read and try to relax to get back to sleep. So that is it for my nighttime routine. I would really like to know, is your nighttime routine like mine, or is it different? Please let me know any kind of things that you have in your nighttime routine in the comments. And also, just let me know if you liked the video. Thank you all so much for watching or listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I cannot wait to see you in the next episode. Bye!